What's up, guys? This is the Fat Bandit, and playing some more Star Conflict for you here. I was actually playing with a friend, so you might hear his voice. The program was actually recording his voice as well in this, so you might hear his voice pop up every once in a while. But that's just me and a friend of mine that I joined his corporation, and we jumped into some games, and we had a lot of fun because, like I said, if you're able to communicate with your teammates in this game and try to actually use game, use strategy and tactics to try to win, and coordination, you can actually do pretty well. So even though, like I said, it's one of my friends, I actually did pretty well. Unfortunately, you couldn't hear my voice on the recording, so you can hear us kind of coordinate together. So I decided to do the commentary in post, which is what I'm doing now. So yeah, we had a lot of fun though. It was really cool, like I said, to be able to communicate and coordinate things, and still having a good time with the tier 2 so far. I'm actually a little excited slash nervous for tier 3 just because I hope it doesn't, I hope it's harder than this, right? Just a little bit more difficult than this, a little bit more challenging anyways, because I can see how, even with tier 2, even though I do get challenged, it's not like I'm amazing at tier 2 by any means. I still do pretty well, and I can still, handle myself, and especially if we had a full team, I know that we'd be able to do pretty well, especially with a team full of people that know what they're doing. I can see us winning and kind of not necessarily being challenged a whole lot. So, that being said, I do wish tier 3, will be harder, and I hope it is, and I'm sure it will be. But at the same time, I don't want it to be too hard because the jump from tier 1 to tier 2 was a little bit too drastic in my opinion. It seemed like as soon as I jumped into tier 2, I felt like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I felt like I was having to start all over again. Like people were just dominating me. Like I couldn't get one kill. And even now, I know it has something to do with I know it has a little to do with the fact that I use an interceptor, and it's not really meant to kill people all that great. But I just felt like I was jumping into a match, to the game brand new, and had to start from scratch, and it was pretty devastating when I first jumped into some tier 2 matches. Now that I've played a good amount, I can kind of fend for myself. I can do pretty well, but I hope that the jump to tier 3 isn't as drastic as the jump to tier 2 was, because it kind of it obviously didn't deter me away from this game. I still play this game and I still like it, but it raised the level just enough to where I felt like I had to start all over again, especially, and not just skill wise, because I had to up my game that much more. There's only so much you can up your game, when you don't have the equivalent type of gear, ships, modifications, or any of that stuff to make your ship or your gear better. So the gap, not only for skill wise, was pretty big, but the gap also for your equipment and your ship and all your modules or whatever was also pretty big going into tier 2. I hope it's a little bit easier, a little bit of a smoother transition into tier 3. That being said, also the money is like the other part that I'm kind of nervous about. My license ran out on the game, and if you go to your hangar and you see on the top right, you get a license for your game for just starting to play it or whatever, and it gives you, I forget what it is, like 50% money increase from games. It gives you like 50% XP increase from games. All this stuff that basically makes you level up faster, get more money quicker, all that stuff. Well, that you only have that for, I think it's like 7 days or something if you start playing it, or 5 days or something. And that's it. After that, you have to grind it out even more. So now I'm getting less money than I am used to getting. I'm getting less experience than I used to getting. So the grind to get, up to par for the amount of money that I should be getting to get a ship and fully modify it all out and deck it all out and everything is going to be twice as hard for me to be able to, modify it, like I said, modify it all out and everything. So it's going to be, a huge grind to get there. So I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to all that. But at the same time, if I jump into tier 3 and it's a pretty good balance, it is just challenging enough to where, you know, and I'm obviously going to save up. I'm going to save up like, I don't know, I want to say like 3 million standard credits at least for one ship and everything, you know, fully loaded. I don't see it, you know, costing me any less than 3 million. For my tier 2 fighter, I had about 2 million, and that got me everything. You know, that got me the ship, that got me all the modules, Mark 2, even some Mark 3s in there, and that was 2 million credits. So I'm hoping that it, you know, I don't know, I'm hoping that I am able to at least save up at least 3 million credits, and then am able to get a fairly good game, or fairly good ship, and deck it all out for tier 3. So we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm having fun, and I can always jump back to tier 1 and tier 2. That's a cool thing I do like about this game a lot, is the fact that you are able to jump back and forth between tier 1, tier 2, and that kind of stuff. That makes it a lot more enjoyable, and the replayability value pretty high, because, you know, if I do jump to tier 3 and I absolutely hate it, then, you know, I can go back to tier 2 and I can actually buy different ships in tier 2, try out a bunch of different ships in tier 2, buy different modules for my tier 2 ships, or even tier 1 if I want to go back to that. You know, and after a while of playing and grinding it out, you have enough money that you are able to buy a tier 3 ship with all its modules and everything. So I've seen a lot of comments, people saying that this is a pay-to-win game, but that is not the case. You are able to grind out any of these, you know, any sort of money that you want, and you're able to actually get anything that you can pay for, but by just investing time. So anyways, I pretty much ball out in this game. I think I planted 1 bomb, maybe 2. I can't remember. I wasn't even paying attention to the video, to be honest. But we end up planting the bomb right there and win, secure the victory, because we're awesome. I'm pretty much a baller when it comes to any sort of demolition or capturing of the beacon game type with my interceptor. It's awesome. And right there, as you saw one on my loot, I actually got a tier 3 module, which is cool. That's my second tier 3 module that I got. So already I'm getting stuff for tier 3, which is cool. It's going to save me money. So yeah, it's cool. I'm having fun with it still. And join me online, guys. Add me on Steam, or add me in the game, ThePhatBandit, just like you see it in all these videos. And I'll see you guys online.